today here we have my friend.
It's Rashunn, Cheney.
Okay, and me and Rashunn will be talking about colorism in the African American community.
That's right.
Okay, so we could just go ahead and get right on into it.
Okay.
So my first question. Oh well, wait 1 second. So Rashunn, you could just tell them a little bit about yourself before you go ahead and get into it.
Okay. My name is Rashunn, and I'm from Buffalo, New York. And I started doing podcasting because I like talking stuff and bringing awareness to different things like that, and starting conversations. And I got an email the other day from Sean, about one of the podcasts that we put out about growing up dark skinned, and that peaked conversation about colorism, which I think is still going on to this day. But it's good that you doing this show, and we about to get into it, about to have a little fun. So let's get to it.
Okay. So my first question is what does the word colorism mean to you?
I never really started hearing that word until recently. I never heard that. I just heard you black as charcoal, or you red bone. I never really you black, you dark, you brown. I never heard of colorism. So this is like, I guess this got to be a new word. This is like blackish, these new things that they coming up with. But I believe colorism have probably been around for a while, but it's definitely prevalent in our community more than, maybe like my white friends, they look at you as black, they look at me as black. Like, if you light skinned, you black. So it's like they don't really see that, but with our history being what it is, and going back to slavery, they say the lighter complected got better treatment, so they can tell the difference. So I think colorism been around for a while. So
Okay. All right. So what are some examples of colorism or discrimination against dark skinned people?
well, I'll give you one. When we was in, being that I'm in the Navy and we get to travel, I went to India, and you can see the different posters and different billboards, and you can tell everybody there was looking like Michael Jackson. Like, you know what I'm saying? The girls were lighter complected, the men were lighter complected, but the people on the streets was like my complexion. I'm like, oh, you black, you black as me. You know what I'm saying? You dark, you different, you in between those shades. But what they are pushing, you started to notice that they was pushing lighter complected people, lighter complected women as the idea of what beauty is. So examples of that, you can look around. Look at the number one singers. Look at the number one movie stars. Look at the people that are. Look at the number one. Like, I don't care where you go. Just think of just what people ideas of what beauty is. It's probably going to be somebody of a lighter complexion. But the thing about it is, with your platform like this, you bring an awareness of it. My thing is, when we create these things, we can kind of kill that with us coming in there and saying we love all,
Right.
all of what comes with being a black person, whether you light as outside or you dark as night, it don't matter.
Right. That's funny you talked about India because I noticed that too. So I went on a study abroad to Thailand, and it's like the same exact thing there. Like the people, the billboards and everything like that. It's like with lighter skinned people, and then all their creams and lotions, everything has bleaching type of stuff in it. And like the girls, it's hot all the time over there, but the girls will be at school with like umbrellas, and in the in the middle of the day, you're like, why do you have an umbrella? But it's because over there, like light is pushed so much, and if you're darker skinned, you're seen as like a worker, or you're not like theirs is kind of like a caste system. So, and I mean ours is too, but yeah, it's definitely bad in other countries too.
Yeah, I was run. Me and my mom went for a run yesterday, and it was a white woman went by, and I mean her skin was tan, so dark. I was like, dang, she got that like gold, you know, but that wasn't from sitting out in the sun. That's sitting in the tanning salon. So it's kind of backwards because sometimes you'll see them wanting to have their complexion darker. They like that. So a lot of them spend thousands and thousands of dollars a year just to try to get that tan, which should be an awareness to the people that are, brown or black or whatever. There's nothing wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? Some people can be pointing a finger at you and laughing, but they may admire what you do. I seen a person when I was in the military. He, a white man, had his whole sleeve just the color black. His tattoo was just black. You know, from the arm all the way up. And I was like, dang, black got to be beautiful if you tattooing it. So you look at the tattoos, you look at all of these different things, like, and we already naturally have that skin, so it's not something that you should be ashamed of.
Right. Okay. All right. So my next question is, why do you believe people have negative attitudes about dark skin and more positive attitudes about light skin?
Well, I mean, I think that's something that's taught, because as kids, when you came up out and went to the park with your friends, or you was at school, you didn't even think about that. You didn't think about dark, light, who better, this. That's something that was taught. That hatred was taught to you. That ability to pick which one was better looking is something that's been pushed at us for far too long. Me and my friend yesterday, we was actually on the phone, and we were just talking about the way people do, even to this day. A lot of hate is taught. You know what I'm saying? So when you growing up as a kid, you are given, a Barbie doll that's white. You never given the dark one. You know what I'm saying? When you a young man, you know what I'm saying? You are, even the TV shows when I was growing up, like Rugrats, all the kids was white. Then you had one dark girl on there. There was like one black kid on that whole movie or that whole show. So throughout our life, we've been taught and showed that white is better, light is better. Angelica. I can't even remember the black girl's name on the show, but like, she wasn't considered the cool one. She barely was on the show. Like,
Right.
so from a young age as kids, we were taught that, and psychologically, you don't have to say it with words, but psychologically. And then when you growing up with your friends, and I'm talking about since I was 2 or 3 years old, you know, I was always the butt of all the jokes. So I grew up thinking it was normal to be clown, you know. Yeah, I thought it was normal to joke back on people, but it gave me a thick skin. But at the same time, I was always the butt end of all of the black jokes for sure.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
What role do you think traditional media, I feel like you a little touched on this a little bit, plays
Go ahead. Go ahead.
in colorism?
Media again, yeah, we did touch on that, but you see it in the movies.
Yeah.
You see it. You can see it in the newscasters, the anchors. You
Yeah.
can see it. You know what I'm saying? You
And
can see
you
it in
can.
all that. You can see it in the leading roles, in the
You can.
actors. You can see it in the music. I even was listening to this interview and they was talking about Beyonce, and the father was like, the biggest role of Beyonce being able to
Yeah.
was
Matthew said that.
it had a lot to do with her skin tone. If she would have been Kelly Rowland, like what I thought Kelly Rowland was just as good.
Right.
I think she's just as attractive, but
She
you can
is.
tell the career shifts. You know, more people are willing to write for Beyonce and give her hit records. Where Kelly hit records at?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
No, talk about it.
so you think about that all the time. Just like let's just say for example, not Dream, but the dude that used to write a lot of the songs for Beyonce,
Nia?
Neo.
Uh-huh.
You know, Neo's super talented, but he don't sell like Chris Brown.
No.
He does not sell like Chris Brown.
Don't get me on Chris.
Neo could do all of that, but Neo, he just don't sell like that.
He
So
don't.
it's a colorism, and then it's a lookerism. He ain't got no hair, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So but don't get it twisted. Chris Brown is the goat though, but at the same time, it's not.
Okay, we'll have to come back to Chris
Yeah,
Brown. Yeah, we'll have to come back to Chris Brown. I'm not gonna let you go with that one, so we'll have to come back to Chris Brown. No, since we're already on the subject, you're still on the Chris Brown wave?
I went to see him perform, and he's what it is. Like he's like I was to the point where I was like, wow, he got everybody up on their feet. Like it's not even the way. It's some people just have that ability to work a crowd.
But did
Some
you?
people, what you say? Go ahead. You can say
Did you
it.
hear what he just said and did?
What he say?
All right, so you know the new song he just put out with Drake.
Uh huh.
So you know he had a line in there that was pretty
Mm-hmm.
I only like the black chicks with the good hair.
Mm.
Okay, so it was a lot of controversy, you know, surrounded that line because you know usually when you talk about colorism, you're talking about there's a lot of you know texturism involved too. All right, so that was a big debate
All
with
these
that.
isms.
Wait. So when he said that, a girl named Tokyo, she's a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
She put a video up saying that Chris Brown told her friends he no darkies in his section at the club.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris Brown didn't deny it. Chris Brown put up a thing, put up a post on Instagram saying he, you know, the only people who are mad are the Skid Row Edge Bees and you know, like that. So he did not deny saying that he said no darkies. It's two different women said he told them no darkies in his section.
Mm-hmm.
So while I never really was a Chris Brown fan,
Mm-hmm.
now like I can't even like I can't even listen to his music and I get like angry when people even like talk about him because I feel like I feel like colorism is a lot of reason why he's been given so many chances.
Okay, yeah, that has a role in it too, but they heat him up though. He not ever been forgiven for it. But one of the things that I take a stance at, first of all, I never allow somebody that I don't know to offend me, or I mean, not to offend me, but make me mad. Like I don't know Chris Brown, like you know what I'm saying. And I tell people all the time, even if you're a fan of somebody, you're supposed to hold them accountable for their
Yeah.
actions. There's nothing wrong with you saying, you know what, I'm not listening to his music no more. You offended me, or you know what I'm saying, or whatever it is. If that offended you to the point where you don't want to listen to it, you have that right. But I'm just speaking on his talent. I'm not speaking on his character of who he is. So I'm able to separate the two. I'm able to separate when the song come on. I'm not gonna wreck my car to turn it off.
But
And,
I can't separate it. When you say no darkies, I mean I'm not able to separate that. Like I'm not able when I listen to music like all I hear is no darkies, no darkies, no darkies. Like I can't bang with you at all.
always hold them accountable. But also I'm one of those people that do realize that everybody has a preference as well. You know what I'm saying? Like if you like a certain, like, 'cause I think he was like with the good hair or whatever, and he was getting a lot of backlash for it. And I'm like, if that's what he liked, that's what he liked. He liked the girls with the dark. But there's a lot of other men that like you the way you are. You know what I'm saying? I'm never gonna date Chris Brown. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like in my mind, I'm never gonna date Beyonce. That's not gonna happen. I'm cool. I'm never gonna date Beyonce. So if Beyonce came out today and was like, I don't want no dark skinned man, I want a light one. I'm like, all right, it's your loss. Like I don't want to sit in your section anyway. Like, but if her song come on, you know, I still like some music, some of her music that come on. I may not go to her concerts no more. You know what I'm saying? I may not download her new album, but if her song come on, I ain't gonna trip about it. I mean, I won't deny her talent. So all I'm saying is what he does, as far as from a stage, he's super talented. You know, he can make a hit record. I don't like his character. I may not like his character. I may not like who he is as a person. But talent, that dude talented for sure, for sure. Beyonce talented for sure, for sure. Character, that's another thing where you can sit up there and be like, no, I don't like his character, and I don't like his character. I don't like what
Right.
certain things about him. But far as like when I say he got on that stage, every hundreds of thousands of people stood up. I was like, this is ridiculous. I've never seen that. I never got the chance to see Michael. I never got the chance to see Beyonce perform. But when I seen when I seen Chris, I was like, okay, I see. This is what a star is. He's a star, and it's a
So
lot of our stars that don't like us, by the way, that may not like you in real life. I've met a lot of the super like try to get an autograph. They buttholes. So never put your faith in what you know what I'm saying. Don't allow your self to get upset based off of putting your faith in somebody you do not know. We don't know these people. You know, never idolize somebody. You know what I'm saying? You the queen. You supposed to idolize yourself when you look in the mirror and be like, I'm beautiful. I'm not going out here waiting for somebody to uh, solidify me for who I am. Forget y'all.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but my issue is that I feel like he has an audience, you know, and he has a reach. So, I mean, yeah, he's definitely talented. I just say I just can't, for someone at that level to be so openly
Human?
colorist.
No, human. He human. It's a lot. Like what I'm trying to say is,
Humans, I don't think, no, colorists, to tell somebody no darkies in my section. I can't, like,
if we had our real breakdown of our real super, like our people that we look up to, you would see a lot of them that way. A lot of them are like that, flawed. You know, like colorisms and all of that. They don't like a girl that's big. They don't like a person that's gay. I'm telling you, if we really pulled the blinds back, a lot of them. That's why I don't look up to them. I don't look up to them. Just like people got upset when Jay-Z helped the NFL. I'm like, y'all surprised? Like, y'all thought that he was really going to stick to the code? It's about money. At the end of the day, it's about money, power, and sex. And Chris Brown, all he thinking is money, power, sex. He not attracted to the darkies, I guess. Or whatever that means. You know what I'm saying?
That's so...
It's foul.
It's foul. I mean, and it's not about preference. That's not... It's not about preference. Preference is, I like a girl that has a car. I like a girl that's working on a degree. I like a girl that's cook. No, that's not... That's not preference.
Because if you say right now, if I say to you, would you date a white man? What would you say?
Would I date a white man?
Yeah. That's her preference. You may be like, yeah, or you may be like, I want to date a black man.
Yeah, but
that's not colorism. I mean, no, what he said about the darkies part in the section, that's foul. But I'm saying, far as I want a light-skinned thing with some lump, that part, right?
That's colorism.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, it's also your preference. Because you may not like a girl with that.
Yeah, but it's a colorist preference.
It's a preference.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's a colorist preference.
Would you date a white man? Answer yes or no.
Well, colorism is usually between the same race, so me dating a white man wouldn't really be...
That's a color.
Yeah, but colorism is usually within the same ethnicity. Like,
what I'm saying is, as far as from a preference standpoint.
Would I date a white man?
Yeah.
I don't know.
See what I'm saying? And it's like, why? What's the difference? He got a soul. He got a character. Why would you not? What's the problem? It's your preference. You've been taught that it's bias. You can see they bias. You can see his flaws coming out. Even, you know what I'm saying? Like, so what yours is, you don't have a bias towards them. You just have a preference. You just want a black man, you know, who's strong, you know, tall, dark, and handsome. Whatever it is. Even that statement, tall, dark, and handsome.
I don't say stuff like that. So I don't equate color with characteristics. So that's why I can't agree with that's why I can agree with that. But what I'm saying is that most people who have these preferences, it's usually rooted in just, people can't just say I like light-skinned girls. People say I like light-skinned girls because dark-skinned girls are A, B, and C. Or I like light-skinned girls because they are easier to A, B, and C. So, but that's why it's colorism, because people don't just say I like light-skinned girls. It's always a colorist reason behind the like for light-skinned girls, and it's not just simply saying I like but even in itself, to just say I prefer a certain skin color to not an attribute like,
that's, you know, attraction. It's something to me about a dark-skinned woman. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and tell you that I'm not saying that light-skinned women are not beautiful, but to me, my preference, I think there is something very attractive about a dark-skinned woman. I think her skin looks different. I think a dark-skinned woman, to me, you know, now I can sit up here and brag on a light-skinned woman. I think a light-skinned woman is this to me. You know what I'm saying? But there's a difference between a light and a dark and a brown. It's a difference. Like, I'm different. Like, when I come in, I know that my skin is different. Like people are attracted, probably not to me. They just may be attracted to my skin because it has a glow to it. It has a shine to it. You know, my teeth sets out like, man, you got a really nice smile. It's different. You know what I'm saying? Now if you light skinned and you got a set of teeth that it may not shine at the same. It's different. It's definitely a difference in skin tone, which I feel like, to me, you are black though. To me, you're black. You know what I'm saying? You got one drip in you, you're black. You know what I'm saying? Now you may like a person, like I know some guys who got the wavy hair and you know what I'm saying? Like it's dope on them. But then like my rough hair, I'm able to, do certain things with my hair that's different. It's different. It's definitely a difference. Like I wouldn't trade my hair for theirs though, but I definitely be like, oh, that he killed it with that. He got the ponytail. Some dudes do the ponytail, somebody do the dreads. It's a difference. There's a difference. It's okay with being different. My thing is embrace your difference. Like I know that I'm dark. I don't want to be light. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm cool with being who I am. I'm not offended that you don't like me. You may not like me. Chris Brown may not like you, but another person will. Like what I won't do is like allow him to derail my day because he don't like darkies in this section. Then I got my own section. I don't need your money. Like we got our own section. We over here popping bottles too. It's a lot of successful people. You don't have to hang with the cool kids or whatever that crew is. To me, that just points out that you're shallow. That's why you keep running into the women you keep running into. You jumping in a 3-foot pool. We over here in the 9-foot. We in the Olympic style pool over here. We 20 feet over here. We deeper than that. Like, yes, you're light skinned. Okay, I'm attracted to a light skinned person, but then a dark girl come up and she got more to offer me. Then bye, light skinned girl, I'm go over here. I'm gonna go for who's a better woman based off of character. Now you love somebody based off their character. You know what I'm saying? That's why, of course, you may have a preference. You want a black man, but if you meet a Spanish dude that's gonna sweep you off your feet and take care of you, and you know what I mean, if that's who it is, then I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like I do have my preference, but you got to go where you love. You don't, and like you say, if he disrespects you, don't play his music. Call him out when you see him at the press conference.
Good point. Good point.
Look at your background. Your lights is on. You got food back there. Like you never. You ain't paying no bill.
Good point. Good point. Good point. Okay, all right. My next question is, what role do you believe colorism plays in dating and marriage?
I don't know, cause it's like for me, when you 20 years old, that matters. Like it's shallow. When you start getting old, like when I was 20, I couldn't get a girl. When I turned 22, there wasn't a woman that I was interested in that I could not get. So when you're 19, 18, it's not going to work that way. You got to understand, for example, let's go back to Chris Brown. He's 29, but he's still in a fake facade world. That world that he's living is not realistic. Everybody in that world is like, they happy if you give them a pair of red bottoms and some jewelry. So when we get older, regular people, you be like, man, that dude ain't too bad. That person is not too bad. So when it comes into it, as we age, we mature. We start wanting different things. We start wanting things like love, companionship. We like things like somebody that's going to give us protection. That start being what is attractive. You know what I'm saying? Like you at this age, because I'm 30 now. So when I was 27, it was a different ball game to when I'm 30. Like it was in that drastic change in them 3 years. I'm dating women now who's working on their second marriage, 2 kids. So now I'm meeting girls that body was on point. That's got a couple of stretch marks now, stripes on her. So I call it Tigger. They got look. I'm being real. Like so, it's a difference in the women that I'm running into now. So am I still gonna have this young 21-year-old approach where it's like her body got to be tight, her breasts got to be? No, you going. It changes. You start going for people, things that matter more. So as we age, you still gonna have shallow people, but as you age, people will really start to embrace you for who and what you bring to the table. Is are you loyal to him? Are you dependable? Are you responsible? Are you are you in your DMs DMing some other dude behind his back? What's your career like? And you right now, for example, like you steady going up. You going to school. You doing these great things. So if somebody don't pick you because you got a bun and you dark skinned or you brown, that's you don't need them anyway. So I don't think it plays a role in real life stuff. It plays a role if you're a famous person, probably, but not regular people. You know, but not to that's me. That's just me. All the light skinned girls that didn't want me then, they definitely have, you know, I've been able to approach them.
Well, that's because I would say colorism is pretty gender. It doesn't affect. I mean, it affects dark skinned men, but it does not. As far as in dating and marriage, it does not affect dark skinned men the way it affects dark skinned women.
Ooh, okay, let's talk.
In my research, dark skinned men are the preferred, as far as in 2019 and in the last couple of, I would say the last couple of years, dark skinned men are not as affected by colorism as dark skinned women. And actually, dark skinned men are the preferred man for marriage and dating. So it's not the same.
See, I don't. You know, you speaking from a male perspective. I'm just saying from a young man's perspective. I definitely wasn't getting no love. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't getting no
I'm sure
love.
when you were, I'm sure like then, you because back then I would say when you were younger, it was I think it was just bad for dark skinned people, period. But I'm saying like in more recent times, as far as in dating and marriage, colorism doesn't affect dark skinned men the same way it affects dark skinned women. Dark skinned women are discriminated against in dating. Dark skinned men are actually preferred in
I can
dating.
see that. I can see that.
If you like, I'm doing a study now on this game, the light skin versus dark skin game on YouTube or whatever, and I mean, just generally, dark skinned men are preferred as far as in dating. Light skinned men are not the preferred in dating anymore.
I don't know. Like when I'm with my friends, like I'm in the Navy, like we go out, the light skinned dudes definitely getting the love. You know,
Yeah, I
like
mean, I'm not saying
get
they don't get love, but
especially
I'm saying
with the tats and you know
yeah,
what I'm saying is like I'm not the one that out of the group they seek me, you know, and I'm cool with that. But I'm just saying I still get the woman that I prefer, and I can see that. But from a woman perspective, you opening my eyes to something that is true. That might
yeah,
be true. Like, cause I can, like, I'm speaking on myself, and I'm, you know, but like now that you mention that, that could be true. That's where you come into place, and you got to break that down to us, cause like, you know, we not standing in those shoes. Like, I mean, I'm not able to stand in those shoes, but I think that that's true. I agree with you. I think that sometimes people they do get a bad rap, but I mean, but just me, it's biased because I like them. So to me, I'm like, damn, I don't see why they do that, but okay.
yeah, but it's so. I mean, I see what you're saying because you do like skin women, but it's very gendered. Most women that you like in this, yeah, I'm doing most women. I would say right now it's like so far I've probably done like 80 people, and so it's like 40 girls say I prefer darker men, where 10 said I prefer lighter men. And like, yeah, so, and then the reasons are always associated. Light skinned men are this, light skinned men are sensitive, dark skinned men are more manly, dark skinned men, da da da, dark skinned men bigger, da da da. So, dark skinned men are not as affected in dating with colorism there because they're seen as more manly, they're seen as more, just dark skinned men are more preferred in dating and marriage. So it's not exactly the same thing. It's not yeah, because dark skinned men they definitely do face colorism and it was definitely worse, then. But as far as in dating and marriage, now the what you see in movies and TV, you see the dark skinned husband and the light skinned wife. What you see, when people talk about their preferences is that they prefer a dark skinned man. So it's not they.
But we normally always whooping they behind though in the movie, especially the Tyler Perry joint. We
That's
cheering,
true.
we
That's
going
true.
upside their head. Then
Yeah.
here come Chris Brown, light skinned dude, come in and save the day. I'm just like, Tyler Perry, can you please help the brothers out?
No, that's true. That's true. Dark skinned men are showed as
Me joking.
abusive.
But I think that the versus thing, I think the conversation is good that we having it. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, why are we having this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's like, don't we get it by now? But it's crazy. 2019, we still don't get it. We
Yeah,
still.
I get some of them messages asking them why they do those videos, and most of them didn't reply. But
What you mean? Whoa, what you say?
the video, those video, you said the versus videos, or were you just talking about in general?
You said you messaged some of the people
Yeah,
to
and
see what they would say?
why they do this? Why are they doing these videos?
Well, see, we trying to solve the problem, and that's what's good about your show. You wanna try to figure out what the issue is, but like to me, I sit back and I go again. We got to stop the hatred. It's a lot of hatred, and I think a lot of times we pick and choose. I'm telling you, a lot of times we pick and choose what we're gonna be mad at. People pick and choose what we want to talk about and what we want to put at the top of the food chain. And like me, like when you bring up, like I say, for example, Chris Brown, I may be a fan of him, but I understand. I hear what you're saying. I'm like, hold him accountable. When we see him, matter of fact, we're gonna ask him about it. If I'm ever in a press conference, I want to know, like, yo, why would
He
you?
do be in Virginia.
You know what I'm saying? Why would you say something like that? Do you not understand what type of platform you have? You can't be just talking like willy nilly. It's almost like what Kodak Black did when.
I know.
It's certain things that you say within your group of friends, but hey, we living in a world now where everybody got a camera phone. But it was another video that I was watching Vlad TV, thinking of colorism. His name was Glock 9.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
And he basically was like, "Oh, I can't be with no black me, no black me." And I was just thinking to myself, like, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, "Yo, this dude don't even realize he's a beautiful dude if he cut that rug up off his head, or at least tighten his dreads up a little bit, like, and get the color out of his hair. Like, sometimes you do the blonde, it don't go right with everybody can't pull off the blonde tips, but he hate himself because he didn't been through so much, and a lot of the times." We look at him and we get so hard on him, but y'all don't understand what he's going through. Like he feel like
definitely self-hate.
It's like it's not just y'all
hate from what society has done. It's a lot of self-hate.
And he hate him. He only hate him because people hate him.
Of course.
If everybody was telling him, "Boy, you beautiful," you this, you that, I don't think he would look at this stuff. But what happened was like somewhere down the line, he didn't feel that way, and I think. To me, people get mad at people like that. And it's like, yo, you got to understand where he coming from. Like, I can understand where he coming from for sure. It was times where I'm like, man, like, why? Like, every day I go in the mirror as a young kid. Like, I'm talking about, like, 7 years old. Like, man, am I getting, like, lighter? Like, am I getting darker? Like, I used to always test myself with the darkest person in the class. Like, am I the darkest? Every time I was the darkest. I ain't gonna lie. Every class I went to, I was the blackest. But it was something that was affecting me from a 7-year-old. Like, because I was like, dang, am I really that dark? Is there something really wrong with me? Like, because you can't see yourself. You just know that you're a nice person, a sweet kid, you like playing games. So a lot of this stuff is taught and they're hated on by their own people. My first jokes was coming from my family. Like, you first hated in your own house. Your cousins and brothers and sisters, they like to joke. And I always got the African booty scratcher joke. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, those just aren't funny. No. Okay. So we talked about this one. All right. So we're just going to go on our last couple questions. So I feel like you talked about this a little bit, but you could just talk about it some more if you do have anything to add. What are some of your personal experiences with colorism?
Like I say, some of my personal experiences is just like growing up in the household with the family, and you get those jokes, Tar Baby, Blackhead, this, that, and the third. So you grow up. Me, I looked at it as I could take a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like, it did toughen me up. Like, so it's kind of hard to just offend me. Like in general, like it's hard to just flat out offend me. Like I could be sitting down with a Ku Klux Klan member at this point, and it wouldn't bother me. Like, we can have a discussion. But in a sense, it taught me how to be funny. It taught me how to be witty. It taught me how to be quick on my feet. But it was times when it was sad when I couldn't get the girl that I liked. I couldn't go on a date with the people that I wanted because I felt like, dang, I just wasn't good enough for them. And growing up, like the girls, like I said, that didn't like me, as you speed forward now, they changed their minds. So I think all of it was something that was taught to them, but as they age and mature, they realize, like, he's not a bad looking person. His skin is not ugly. He's not this. So, I remember one of the things that I remember doing was like, going in, and I'll put like my grandmother had like a brown makeup, and I would just see what I would look like if I can make myself, lighter. And I remember getting cussed out, by my grandmother. Why are you playing in that makeup? I'm just like trying to see how I would look if I was lighter. So growing up, when I even played video games, I would create myself as a white person, you know what I'm saying, or a light person. So just growing up, it was just that hate towards getting clowned and laughed at and joked on, and you know. But when I got older, I just embraced it. Like, yeah, bump it. I am black, you know what I'm saying. But I'm cool, I'm beautiful. Like, and having family members like your grandmother, your mom, your aunts giving you that reinforcement is nothing is wrong with you and you're beautiful. It really went a long way after a while. So after in my teenage years, I stopped caring about stuff like that. And now I'm just stuck with witty jokes and making fun of people now. Now I can take a joke now, you know, no big deal.
You say it's no big deal?
Yeah, now it's definitely not a big deal.
Now it's not.
Mm-mm. Far as from me, if you make a black joke around me, you're not gonna offend me.
Yeah, it is not something that hurts you anymore.
Mm-mm.
So how are you able to get to that point?
I think you got to have knowledge of yourself once you started to realize, this is something from the Willie Lynch era that it was taught. What you're seeing in the rap music where people beefing between each other, that's taught. No, you look at country music, nobody's beefing. You look at, white people, they're not saying, you Polish, you this, just us, just us. Like if you go to our shade room, everything is about putting us at it with each other. So
Yeah.
when I started to realize that, you know what I'm saying, and I look at myself like you have to act. Nobody can convince you that you're beautiful, but you like. I never want the responsibility of making my wife happy. I do not want that responsibility. You got to come in this thing whole. Now I can change your day around and make you smile, but I don't want the responsibility of making you happy. So I have to look at myself and know that I'm beautiful. Like I can't. You can't tell me I'm beautiful. I have to believe it. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the times you got to look at yourself and be like, "Yo, I'm blessed. I'm breathing." Some people then got took up out of here. Like, and one more thing was my aunt. I had an aunt. My aunt is light skinned, by the way, but she spent her younger years doubting herself. So when she would tell me I was beautiful, she would tell me, "Don't waste your good years thinking that you're not what you are." So I didn't want to be 30, 40, and being looking back at my old pictures like, dang, I was all right. So from a young age, from like 19, 18, I started to work on myself. So take the time to love yourself. Take the time to love your hips. Take the time to love your hair, whether it's long, short, small, whatever. Take the time to love your dreads. Love you. You take the time to love yourself. I think a lot of times we look for another person, a man or a woman, to give us that. Can't nobody love you better than you. In so many different ways, can't nobody love you better than you. So when you come to them, they just add love on top. It's just a cherry on top of that thing. So that's how you gotta. I love myself. I don't care
Okay,
what you
I
think.
like that message. I like that message.
For
Okay.
sure.
All right. Well, we got one more question. It is: do you think that we can end colorism? Do you think it'll ever end, or do you think it's something that's just engraved and embedded, and we are bound to live with forever?
It's gonna always be here. You're gonna
Okay.
always have people that look down on you. You gotta think back in that the in Africa before all of this stuff happened, dark was considered the dominant role, like the one that was the more that made you more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was known that the darker you are, it just flipped. You know what I'm saying? So back then, was it wrong for them to look down on light skinned people, or is it now? Is it wrong that they look down on dark? Either way it go, it's been here from the beginning of times. If you was darker, you was considered more African. So when I read those books and I see stuff like that, I'm like, yo, colorism been around for a long time. That's why when we got the word now, it's like, oh, it's been around for a while. It's never going to end. But again, the people that it's not going to end with, that take it serious, they down at the third 3-foot pool. We over here with it. We over here in the deep end. We having kids with whoever we want to have kids with. It doesn't matter if you light skinned, dark. You know what I'm saying? We want real love. We want things that you can't buy. So with that being said, we it's okay to have a discussion when you have your child. If she comes out light, tell her, don't look down on people. Don't think you better. If they dark, tell them, just because you dark don't make you better, don't make you lesser. We got to teach our kids that from a young age. You know what I'm saying? Because we all gonna have kids one day, hopefully, God's willing. Like, and if we do, we teach them the right way. We teach them if I got it, like if I have a son and he black like me, I'm gonna tell him, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, they may not see it in the beginning, but ain't nothing wrong with that. But I know some dark skinned boys that came out, women loved them from little kids, you know. But whatever, who you are, you gotta love yourself though. So I mean, no, it's never going to end. It's been here. It's a way to wedge a beef between us. We got to be smarter than that and be like, avoid it. Let them stay at the 3-4 pool. We ain't even talking to y'all anyway. We don't want y'all in our section.
So let me ask you something. So do you have any so would you say you've always liked dark skinned women, or you came to like be that way? And another question is,
well, when I was younger, you know, the thing that Glock 9 said was, I don't want my child to suffer the same way I did. So when you're young, you're like, man, my kid they're gonna come out like this. You think about that, you know. But I remember now mind you, like my dating experience, this is a whole nother topic, but let's just skip. I'm 20 years old, I'm on campus, and I see this girl walking through. She black as me, you know, she got on a Michael Jackson shirt, she got on black pants, and I was just like, wow, this is the most beautiful woman in the world, you know. And you know, I approached her. That was my first ever girlfriend. You know, she was dark, just like me. You know, and you know, at that point, I think that I'm just like, yo, it doesn't matter. You know, love is love. When you love somebody, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So even at this point now, if I meet a woman who's dark, you know, I'm going to love that woman, whether she's dark or she's light. You know, whoever she is, no, I'm not going to not date her because she's too dark. There's no such thing as too dark. You know, you got some people that's blue black, purple black, black black, Hershey black, brown black. You know, it's all types of shit. That's what make us so unique. You know what I'm saying? If my kid, whoever my kid is, if he come out dark or light, he's still gonna be beautiful. He's still gonna be handsome. He's still gonna be that dude. She gonna still be that dude. If I have a daughter, so you know, at the end of the day, again, you may have people that have their preferences, but when you run across somebody that you're attracted to and that's gonna treat you right, you don't care about that stuff. That stuff is shallow. So when you're a young kid, yeah, you got a preference. Like maybe I should get a light skinned girl because you know I don't want her to come out dark. Then you run into somebody with a Michael Jackson shirt and you like, I'm in love. Doesn't matter.
okay, all right. Well, okay. So that was my last question.
54 minutes.
I know. Okay. Well, you definitely gave me a new perspective because I hadn't been able to talk to any guys. So, I'm glad I did get to talk with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that was all my questions.
All right. I appreciate you.
All right.